Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 3rd. And this week, sorry, this deck isn't cooperating, but this week we're just going to jump right in here as always and see what is going on for you at this time. You say, you have this card that says, I promise you it does get better. It's funny that I said, you say that, like those are the words that wanted to come out of my mouth here on this card. You also have this card that says, all the right things will come to you in the most unexpected ways. And I almost feel like, I wonder if you're trying to gas yourself up here. And I mean, I'm a big fan of doing that. That is not a criticism. I think anything you can do to gas yourself up is always a good idea. And it looks like you're kind of doing that. I do get this energy of like taking care of yourself as well in this energy. Like you're more, I kind of just feel overall in this reading without even really getting into it, that you're kind of more focused on yourself. And again, this is not a bad thing. I would say if nothing else, this is a good thing because I feel like you're kind of like recharging your batteries, but it's bigger than that. I also feel that you are kind of like motivating yourself. And look, you have this believe in the impossible card here, Aries. There you go. So, I feel like there are some things that you want to accomplish. And, I really get the feeling, it's kind of interesting. You don't have the Nine of Wands yet. You might get it, you might not, who knows, but, this reading kind of gives me the vibes of, like, not giving up on something, or it's like sometimes I think we kind of, like, go back and forth where we're like, do I keep going, do I keep trying to accomplish this right here? The moon can represent accomplishments. We'll talk about that, actually, in just a minute, but it's like I feel like sometimes you go back and forth. Like, do I want to keep, working on this business or this career, or do I want to make a change? But it doesn't. It could be anything. It could be like your health. Could be, pretty much anything. And I kind of get the feeling that there have been some disappointments with the Five of Cups, but I feel like you're actually putting things into perspective in this reading. Feels like a very calming reading to me as well. So, some of you could find yourself either you are in a more calming place this week, or you are doing the things that you need to do to be more calm. And again, I think that would be a good thing, of course, but I also feel like that, you're kind of like seeing opportunities where you didn't see them before. Even going this way here as well, you have the Knight of Cups to the Seven of Swords. Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor. Definitely looks like there could be a victory in love, but I feel like the Seven of Swords, of course, could be lying, cheating, stealing. So for some of you, I feel like you're trying to decide. It's almost like, it's kind of weird because when we go this way to the moon, this way to the Seven of Swords, I'm wondering if you're like interested in a person, or again, someone could be interested in you. And I don't think this person is a liar, cheater, stealer. And this would be a new person, is what I feel if you do want love. And I kind of get the feeling where you're like trying to tell, like, is it a fantasy? Are they a liar? Or is it a victory, right? And here you go. I think that, sorry, I just knocked all those over. I think that this could be a victory for you here, Aries. So if you have your eye on a person, I would go for it. But again, for the most part, I think this reading is about you. You have this Two of Wands here. And I do feel like you need to believe that something like impossible could happen for you. I also think people need to kind of get prepared for the next 20 years, right? Pluto and Aquarius. We have Pluto and Aquarius finally. But there are just going to be things that you just don't see coming, but I don't mean that in like a clickbaity kind of like unexpected surprise kind of way here. I just mean like, YouTube, right? With YouTube, it's like, before YouTube, it's like there was never an opportunity for like tarot readers to make a living online, right? Well, I mean, you could promote yourself. There were some sites and things like that, but not like YouTube, right? There's nothing like YouTube. So again, we're going to see more opportunities, kind of like YouTube. And I'm not saying it has to do with, video. It could be anything where people can make money doing things. And again, I don't even know what these things will look like. They could be websites, they could be apps, could just be, opportunities that pop up. But again, that's what I mean by unexpected. It's like, who would have thought that, 10, 20 years ago before YouTube, that it would be possible to do this? Nobody. So, again, get ready, be prepared and be open. But again, with the Two of Wands, where I was going with that is that he has to leave his comfort zone, so he has to try new things. Again, before YouTube, and then there was after YouTube, right? And it's like people had to get comfortable being on video and things like that. So I kind of get that feeling here where, again, I'm not saying it's video, I'm just using that as an example. It's almost like there's something that you're going to have to practice or, maybe get comfortable doing, or just because it's new is what I feel. Look, you have the Fool to the World. Literally, in the major arcana, we start with the Fool, we end with the World. And This would be an accomplishment. You have several cards of accomplishment here, actually. You have 3 right here, the moon. And I'll just tell you right now, the moon has these mountains in the background. Mountains in the tarot represent accomplishments. You have the chariot as well. So it's like there's some big accomplishments in some new beginnings or a new beginning that you are heading towards here. And again, I would also stay open to just like, again, random new opportunities, like I was saying. But let's see. With the 5 of Cups, you have the Page of Cups. Definitely a love offer. Some of you don't see it. Or what I would say here is that, just go, I'm going to put this here so you can see the 5 cups. I feel like if you have your eye on a person, they're too focused on the 3 cups and they need to turn around and see you. It could be a friend because you have the 8 of Wands here. 8 of Wands is my card of like socializing, social media. So you could be meeting a person through social media or through like socializing, but it kind of feels like a friend to me or something like that. So again, you might know this person, they might need to see you. It could also be you. Again, just take how it resonates. Maybe you've gone through some disappointments, and I feel like there could be new love coming in. With the 2 of Wands, you have the 9 of Wands. Didn't I say 9 of Wands? I'm pretty sure I said 9 of Wands at the beginning of the reading. The whole vibe that I get from this reading is the 9 of Wands. So if I said that, then definitely kind of giving me that vibe. But it's not like so much that this is a card that says don't give up. I feel like you are not giving up. It's not like I don't think you need the it's like I kind of look at this card as maybe needing motivation or kind of needing the energy of perseverance or persistence. Really, the 7 of Wands is a card of persistence, but close enough. And what I would say here is I don't think you need it anymore. It's almost like you just have it now. So I hope that makes sense. That's like really what I feel. With the Fool, you have the Star. Yes, there is something great that you want to accomplish. Everyone gets a star. Again, the readings have been very similar for like the last year and a half or so, I would say. I think it's because of the major shift. I am starting to feel a change, so thank God. Because I feel like I just repeat myself every single reading. But what I would say is that, again, I do feel a shift here, but I think it's similar because, again, Pluto and Aquarius, this is Aquarius, obviously the star card. And I feel like some of you could be getting a lot of attention. Again, as always with you, Aries, I'm going to say it every single reading just because there is so much good energy for you in particular to get attention. Again, you had Jupiter in your first house. It's moving into your second. It's going to be, then later on this year, it's going to retrograde back into your first again. Again, in like 3 years, you're going to have Saturn in your first as well. So, you have a good many years here to come for you to get a lot of attention. So if you have a business that involves social media, which we see right here with the 8 of Wands, if you just want to socialize, if you just want to build, a team or a group of people or whatever, like all those things are going to be very good for you and will, could lead to like a lot of abundance, success, pretty much everything. Next, you have this Island card. It says, find strength in solitude. So I do feel like some of you have been alone, or maybe you've just been in a period of like kind of working on your independence. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, there is love here, but I would say it's more, I would say this reading is more about you focusing on yourself, and which is fine. That does not mean love can't come in. It's like those two things can happen at the same time, believe it or not. So I feel like some of you, though, it's like maybe you've been alone. Maybe you're kind of like hoping to open up to a person, or you're hoping a person opens up to you, take it how it resonates. And, I feel like something is happening here. And I actually want to see what the next card is. Yeah, you have this jellyfish card that says, let yourself be seen, transparency. I feel like you're kind of like finding people who accept you for you. It's like you're no longer trying to fit into a crowd. I'm really surprised the Magician didn't show up here. You have the Chariot, and the Chariot rider, he looks a lot like the Magician. He even is holding a wand that looks a lot like the Magician's wand. It is the Magician's wand. And so I always look at the Chariot kind of like the Magician, and he also the card itself does represent a lot of the Magician stuff. It represents as above, so below. And again, there's just a lot of similarities between the two, believe it or not. And so but I feel like the Magician represents reinventing yourself, and so a lot of you, I feel like, are kind of reinventing yourself with those two cards there, so that you can maybe surround yourself with people who kind of like make more sense to you. I do feel like a lot of you could be moving. Every single reading I do for you, Aries, there's something about a move here. It just wouldn't surprise me if you were moving, or if you do travel a lot or move a lot. It's like your area of the sky. You and Pisces, right? I'm a Pisces. That's the reason I'm saying this. I travel all the time. And, I've moved I've moved like every single year for the last 4 or 5 years. I can't remember. I don't even know at this point. So it's like, I think that that part of the sky has the travel bug for whatever reason. And it looks to me like a lot of even knights, you have two knights here. Knights represent movement. You have the world, you have the chariot, the six of wands, three of wands. These are all cards that can represent moving or movement. And what I would say here is that if you are moving, I feel a lot of you could just be trying to find people that you resonate with, or a group of people, or you're trying to find your tribe. It's kind of funny because years ago, I lived in Washington, or a few years ago, I lived in Washington State with my brother, and he had this girlfriend who didn't like me. How dare she, right? But I was trying to figure it out. I was like, and then someone told me that, I'm from the East Coast, right? We're rough out there, I guess. And, she didn't like me because of the way that I talked to him. Like, my brother and I, we're always, jibbing and jabbing, and we're always going back and forth with each other, right? And it's like Washington people, I'm not making a criticism of Washington people here. I'm not trying to offend you, Washington people. Apparently, you're all very sensitive. But what I would say is apparently they don't do that there, right? So, again, not really like my tribe, right? And the reason I'm babbling on about this is because I feel like some of you, it's like you could be, maybe you've already moved somewhere, and you're like, the culture, the people, it's not really for me. And I feel like if that's going to make sense to some of you, that you could be making a move. And again, I rarely, if ever, do I feel that making a move actually makes that big of a difference. Like, again, when I moved to Washington, I thought it was going to change everything for me. And it just felt the same. I actually never really felt like I lived there in the first place, right? And I kind of feel that for you here. But it's like you could be finding a new place, I feel, where there's like much more fulfillment. The Knight of Cups is a card of fulfilling your dreams, outside of love. He's got that cup there. He could be imagining some sort of dream or imagining something he wants to manifest. And he's got that water flowing in front of him. He needs to plant seeds in that water, near that water, even though he's in the desert. So I feel like there's a place where there's more growth that could be coming in for you here. I also feel like there is potential love coming in for you here, but this road here tells me that there needs to be communication. You have the Eight of Wands and Six of Wands. I'm wondering if you're interested in a person who gets a lot of attention, and again, that could be preventing you from like making a move here with the Knight of Pentacles. But it's like you're never gonna, I feel like saying for some of you, it's not gonna be true for all of you, but if you're interested in a person, it's like you're never gonna know unless you start flirting or you ask or something like that. And I feel like that needs to happen if you want love. You have the World card here. There are definitely some accomplishments coming in for you. I feel like some of you need to stop worrying about money as well. It's popping into my head. You could be worried about money, or like, am I going to have the money to move? Or am I going to have the money to start this business or whatever? And I feel like the answer is yes, but you have to stop worrying about it. So I would definitely, I don't know, that's weird. I've never really gotten like money on the World card, but I definitely am getting money on the World card. And I feel like you need to realize that you've learned your lessons. It's like you're done. And look at this. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yes. Definitely very, very, very good. The Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. I love two eights together. I mean, to me, that is definitely abundance. And I would also say that both cards represent kind of like, well, the Eight of Wands like manifestation, and you have a lot of great manifesting cards here, but the Eight of Pentacles is the work that you do to manifesting. So definitely some good money cards. With the Knight of Cups, someone has to make a decision here. Two of Pentacles. I'm just getting the word decision on this card. Someone needs to make their move, shoot their shot. It seems to be a very common energy right now. I'm not really sure what's going on, if people are just like extra shy, or if people are just extra nervous right now, or I don't know, right? But whatever. With the World, you have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're getting very close to the end of like some burdens or the hard work. It's kind of interesting as well. I feel like things, I'm not going to say, and I'm pretty sure I said this to you in your last reading, Aries, now that I think about it. It's like I get this feeling that things are getting easier in work. But I'm not suggesting that, work is just going to be a breeze or anything like that, or if you have a business or whatever you do. But it's like I see you getting into either a new position, or maybe you're creating a position for yourself in a business. And again, I feel like you could create a position. I think people don't think about this stuff. Like, you could create a position at your job. Like, maybe there's something you do really well, and if you go to your boss and say, you know what, you make me do all this extra stuff, but there's actually something else that I'm really good at. Like, why not just let me do that and double down on that, right? I think people don't realize that if you go to a boss and do that, you could, get a better position or something like that just by making suggestions. So obviously it's not always true, but I would try it at the very least. So you have that Ten of Wands. And again, I feel like things are getting like easier is what I'm getting. With next in your future position, you have this believe in the impossible card. It says blue moon on it, and you have the moon card. So I do feel for a lot of you, you need to believe that you're capable of doing something that you think is impossible. I'm pretty sure every single reading that I do for you says this. So, there you go, Aries. You have the moon, the Six of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. For some of you, I feel like you've learned how to tell the difference between like the lies and the truth, and I feel this is going to make you more successful, actually. So, again, I feel like some of you are kind of like being able to tell the difference with just people in your life in general. I'm not just talking about love, but you have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands kind of says, you know what to look out for now. It is interesting that you have the Seven of Swords here, because the Seven of Swords could be telling me that's why you're not taking action. Like if you're interested in a person, you could be wondering, like, is this person real? Is it a fantasy with the moon card? Like, what is it? Are they putting up illusions? I kind of get the feeling that some of you could be attracting a person who just does things differently. And it's like maybe you're like, is this person, are they, like, I don't know what the difference is that's popping into my head, Aries, if I'm being honest. I don't even know. So, there's something here where you could be like, maybe they just live life differently or something. And I feel like you could be saying, like, is it real or is it a fantasy? But I feel like it's real. I feel like they just do things differently, right? I also would pay attention to results. I keep telling people that the answer to like the next 20 years or really the rest of your life is the Justice card. I think it's critically important that everybody really, really pays attention to cause and effect. There's too much fantasy. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune's going to be moving into Aries. Doesn't get any better when it moves into Aries. And so it's like, I know it's easy for me to say, like, oh, you put energy in, you get energy out, pay attention to cause and effect. And people always say that's obvious. And I'm always like, yeah, but people don't do it, right? It's like people keep ending up in situations. I see it in the comments. I see it everywhere where they keep ending up in situations where they're overgiving or they're, they're being cheated. And I'm not talking about being cheated on. I'm meaning just being cheated out of energy. It's like someone can, string you along and waste your time and steal a bunch of your energy. So then you're being cheated, right? And I feel like this is saying pay attention to results. And again, there might be situations where you're not sure about a person or you're not sure about a job or a situation. And I feel like this is saying, find the evidence. Go looking for the evidence and see what you find. With the Six of Wands, I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you here. I feel like some of you could be getting a lot of attention. You even end with this new life card, and I love this new life card here. It's like you can see that she's being lifted up on a pedestal. She's getting a lot of attention. So, I feel for some of you, there's like attention coming in for you here, Aries. Let's see. With the Moon card, you have the King of Pentacles. I feel like you could be attracting someone very stable, very secure, very financially secure as well. Maybe the believe the impossible card is saying that it's maybe you feel it's a little bit impossible that this person would be interested in you. You could be attracting a person with money, I'm getting. You could be attracting a person that you just see as very attractive. But again, I feel like it's real. So, I would go for it. I would also say that even outside of love, again, the King of Pentacles is very grounded and stable. And with Neptune and Pisces, we have Saturn moving into Pisces. I really, really believe that that Saturn move recently into Pisces is like saying, you have some dreams, you have some goals, you have something you want to accomplish. It's time to, start working towards those things, just tiny little steps, right? With the Six of Wands, you have the Three of Cups. Some of you could have been in a third-party situation. See, it's like I see guarded energy here. Where was the Nine of Wands? Over here. It's like somebody is in, you have the Five of Cups or the Page of Cups. So either one or both of you have been cheated on or put into third-party situations, take it how it resonates. And, that could be making someone a little bit guarded here. So, again, I always say, like, for the most part, I think it's not even worth talking about because it's like, if someone is too guarded, there's nothing you can do. But I don't know. I feel like this would be a good person. If it's you, I would open up. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Death card. This is the end of being manipulated, really. I do get manipulative energy a little bit here. Like Seven of Swords, Death with the Moon card. Some of you, this does not have to be love, by the way. I feel like some of you have been maybe feeling manipulated by family or friends. The other thing that I'm getting is that it's like maybe, I think there are different forms of manipulation. Sometimes I think we manipulate ourselves. And I kind of get that here, where it's like sometimes I think we worry too much about like, what will so-and-so think if I move Or, will my friends still talk to me if I date this person? Or, what happens if I start this business? Am I going to lose my family? And I kind of get that type of manipulation. I hope that makes sense. It's not really manipulation, but, you might be manipulating yourself out of a positive change. And I feel like this is saying, don't do that. Your outcome is this new life card. Yes, definitely amazing new life coming in for you. I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. I love this card. Again, she's being lifted up on a pedestal. You have the Three of Wands, the Chariot, and the Knight of Pentacles. Two cards that basically say, Three of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles say, what are you waiting for? It's like something you're thinking about is going to change your life significantly, and it might seem a little impossible. But all these cards, are saying basically the same thing. All the right things will come to you in the most unexpected ways. Your very first card. So it's like everything is coming in, but I feel like we have to open up to the unexpected as well. We have to be open to those new possibilities. But there's some sort of move you want to make here in whatever area of your life. Knight of Pentacles says that you are more than prepared. He's got these oak leaves on his helmet right here, and the oak leaves in the tarot represent knowledge and wisdom. He's the only knight that represents no movement, and he's being too cautious, but he's got these fields right here. It's like those empty fields could create a ton of abundance for him if he just starts planting in those fields. And you have the Chariot, which is saying you have to make a move. The Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. I do feel like some of you could be getting into a situation with a person as well where it could involve travel or moving. So take it how it resonates. But I feel like it would be a major victory. Again, the Chariot is as above, so below. He's got these stars in his canopy, these moons on his shoulders. So I feel like there is kind of a lot of success or potential success that could be coming in for you in pretty much all areas of life as well. But I would make sure your energy is matching too. With the Three of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. Definitely love at a distance, and someone has to make a move here. I don't know what else to say. Again, it could be a Scorpio because you have water here, and I'm pretty sure I've said the same thing to Scorpio as well. But you also have the World, which could be Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Capricorn, and you have that King of Pentacles, Taurus. You have the Chariot, Cancer. You have basically everything here, but again, someone has to make a move. With the Chariot, you have the Page of Wands. Yes, there's some sort of adventure opening up for you. A lot of people have been getting the Page of Wands recently, and I really feel that everything we want is on the other side of something we've never done before. I've been saying it since 2020, and I've been encouraging people to open up to new possibilities, and you don't even have to take any big leaps. I think that small daily steps towards in a new direction. And again, the other thing that I think people don't realize is that these new directions could be very, very small. It's like maybe you've never tried pizza before. It's try something new. You never know. It might open up a whole new world of opportunities. Again, I think that what I want to say is that we're in a time of connecting the dots. You never know. You might try pizza for the first time. You might fall in love with it. You might open a pizza shop and become a millionaire because of your famous pizza, right? I think that's what the energy is right now. It's doing something you've never done before, small, then it leads to something very big. And, that's kind of what I get for you here. But it could be anything. Could be in love, could be in business, whatever. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Swords. Lying, cheating, stealing, again, you have the Seven of Swords twice. I would definitely be careful of anyone from the past. Again, we have Mercury retrograde this month. The other thing that I would say is that, again, Seven of Swords can represent doing things differently, or it can say that there is a different way to do something you want to do, like start a business or, get into a relationship or whatever the case may be. And, it just says stay open to different possibilities. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this card of March, last month, March, and you have this clouds card. It says temporary problems. So if you've been dealing with problems in the month of March, you might be watching this in the month of March. Actually, you're not. Just kidding. April Fools. Oh, wait, maybe. I don't know what today is. So I can't remember if I'm putting this out in March or the first day of April, but April Fools, whatever. Again, it doesn't matter. I feel like you're overcoming problems from March. You have this broken wish card. It says a wish will not be granted. I kind of feel like this is where that Five of Cups is coming from. It's there's a past situation that didn't work out. I feel like you need to realize that it's the opposite of what you're about to experience. That's literally what I'm getting in my head, is that maybe there's been a negative experience that's been going on in your life, and I feel like you're about to experience the other side. It's done. No more talking about it. You have this Rooster card. It says an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. I would definitely be careful of a past person. Every single person. I don't know what's up with this Mercury retrograde, this one in particular, but it seems to be targeting relationships, and this does not even have to be love. It could be a friendship. I would be careful of anyone you see as arrogant or boastful or any of that stuff. You have this owl. It says, good advice from a wise person. I feel like that, I'm pretty much a big fan of just like looking for kind of like mentors at this time. And these people, you don't even have to talk to them physically. You could just read their books, watch their YouTube videos, or, any of that stuff. What I will say is that, again, as I've said before, Neptune moving into Aries, I would be careful of putting people on a pedestal. The only person that should be on a pedestal is you. So put yourself on a pedestal. Everything else should be below that. And what I would say is I think it's a great time. I just encourage people to be detectives at this time, right? As I always say, it's like take information in, and then see what works for you. Whatever doesn't work, get rid of it. Whatever does work, keep it. But don't just like take what people say as gospel, right? Including things that I say. Again, you shouldn't be listening to me. You should be doing your own work. Make sure to do your own research, as they say in the crypto community, right? And don't just blindly follow anything. You should be your own expert. But again, I think that there needs to be balance here. I think it's perfectly acceptable to learn from people as long as you kind of put it into practice and see what works for yourself. You have this dog card that says protection from a powerful friend. I do feel like you could be protected from negative forces, so that's what I feel here. But all in all, Aries, this is a really good reading. I love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.